Good morning and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Saturday morning news show. I'm D. Lake for Prez, David Lake, reporting for the MediaSpeaks.com. I'm joined by my co-reporter, Sam I.B. DeGangi, Sam of the Correct Views, and the band passing time, Samuel Claus.
Greetings, unsettled souls from Sammy Claus. I hear that Santa's actually going to do the news from the science front today.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Well, we'll get to that part when we get to science news, and we'll have Santa Claus of the North Pole on later for that part. I thought we could get started this morning talking about politics, Sam. And are you aware that there is a Democrat debate tonight?
Yeah, I'm sure that
on a Saturday.
What's funny is I think a Saturday is actually a lot better because more people are going to be able to watch it. Bernie Sanders is ridiculous for complaining about this. He really is. But I will say this, even though he's absolutely ridiculous, they are trying to cheat him. And I think it's very telling that while I detest both he and Mrs. Clinton, he stuck up for Mrs. Clinton when she broke the law on a massive scale. She threw Trump under the bus for breaking the law on a very minor scale. And I think that needs to be looked at.
How did Trump break the law on a minor scale? I didn't hear that part. Are you talking about Bernie or are you talking about Trump?
No. Did I misspeak? No, I had a Bush there. Bernie stuck up for Hillary when she had the email scandals, but she threw Bernie under the bus when he made a very, very minor error. Basically, I covered this in my last show. The website was down. Well, not down, but the firewall was down.
Right.
So somebody from Bernie Sanders, all he did was access information that, due to the firewall being down, was available to everyone. We don't even know that the person that did it, who is now fired, by the way, we don't even know if he knew that he wasn't supposed to be accessing it. It was basically an error. And
I believe, hold on, Sam, right there, though. I do believe he came out and said that he knew that the firewall was down. What he was doing was investigating what was going on. He claims, the gentleman that was fired, the staffer for Bernie Sanders' campaign, says that everything that he was doing was, being recorded, was being able to be seen by the administrators. In other words, he was trying to be as transparent as possible. You're absolutely right. Hillary, in today's top news, she's going to come out firing.
So, D-Lake, I don't mean to interrupt, but D-Lake, so you rob a bank. You rob a bank at gunpoint, and you shoot a couple people. It was sad. You shot a couple people, and I'm like, you know what? You got to give D-Lake the benefit of the doubt, man. You got to maybe he didn't do this, If he did, maybe it went off on accident. Then I'm jaywalking. D-Lake calls the SWAT team and has me beat down on the sidewalk. Is that what we're hearing right now, D-Lake?
Exactly. Very good analogy, Sam. Exactly. Yeah, now the bank robber is going after the jaywalker. And it wasn't even Sanders himself. Sanders didn't set up a private thing. And the company that collects the voter data information, that's what was accessed when the firewall went down. It was the vendor, it was the contractor's fault for their crappy website or their crappy database setup that made the wall come down. Then someone from Bernie's crew is able to see projections and see voter information from Hillary's camp. So that's not really his fault. I mean, but he did look at it and they say, oh, they may have made some copies or did some saving, did some control copying, pasting or something. But basically the vendor that works for the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, what they did was they opened up the window and put a fresh smelling pie on the windowsill. And then when someone came around to smell the pie, they said, aha, we got you now. And now they're going to paint it like he had a private server and 30,000, 60,000 emails and top secret information. And Hillary's the good guy and he's the bad guy, Sam.
Did you have a chance to catch the show I did last night? I know you've been very, very busy, so you probably
I
didn't.
haven't yet, but I definitely. It sounds like you covered this already.
I'm going to make you know. I'm going to give you an idea. I wanted to shout out to my friend Giselle. Kyle doesn't seem like he's going to be joining us, so we're looking for somebody to fill that third seat. Maybe it's you, by the way. So contact us in our comment line. Um, she loves Bernie Sanders. Well, she can't answer like questions on how we're going to afford Bernie Sanders. She mentions the military. That's only going to pay for one of Sanders' ideas. But in any event, she's extremely intelligent. She is a political science graduate, and I tried to get her as a member of the show, and she's just too busy. But there is a reason, D Lake, that you, David Lake, there's a reason that you really need Bernie Sanders. Did you know that? I lost him.
Oh God! Please tell me what that reason would be.
She said to me, she said, Sam, I am so sick of this two-party system. I hate it, but we've heard it a million times. It's one of the reasons we even are on the Media Speaks. Well, I said, wouldn't it be great if Trump shredded that ridiculous thing they had him sign? But even he contracted, so now he's got to honor his word. But what if he ran third party? Well, then you just put Hillary in office. Pause. What if he ran independent? And so did Bernie. Now you've got a four-party race, and there are Trump supporters that will not vote for, I've been calling them Jeb Rubio. They're not going to vote for the establishment Republican. They're not. You know what? Trump's got enough following that this isn't going to be, and I love the man, Gary Johnson at 1%. That's not what we're going to see here. We're going to see huge numbers going for Trump. Well, then you say, well, that's going to put Hillary in office. Not if Bernie, and D Lake, this is why we need Bernie, excuse me. If Bernie doesn't do it, Hillary is in office if Trump does this. However, if Bernie runs, say, Green Party, I can't think who else would want him, maybe socialists. If he ran Green and Hillary ran Deb, and Jeb Rubio, whoever the establishment hack is, runs GOP, and Trump runs, you have the first American election in the last 100 years where you have a real election. Am I wrong there, D Lake?
It's a bold idea, and a lot of things would have to happen. I mean, did you see this week on Tuesday during the GOP debate that Donald Trump said at the end that he's honored to be the front runner for the Republicans. He wants to run and win Republican, and he wants to stay with the Republicans, and he's committed to the Republicans.
Yeah, I puked in my mouth a little bit. I did.
That?
I puked in my mouth a little bit. I did. Because they're going to hose it. Does anyone listening to this?
No, but the way that he said it, when I listened to it again, they said, oh, he's firmly committed. He's not firmly. He's firm, but there's still, the door is still a little bit open.
How?
Well, when it comes to the convention, if they try to do a brokered convention or steal delegates or change the rules at the last minute, he still has time to mount an independent campaign. So, I mean,
does anybody, does anybody have any memory? Are you and I doing these shows for nothing? Here's why I ask. Rule 40. They did it to Ron Paul. They cheated Ron Paul out of Iowa. They cheated him with his delegates at the convention. They changed the rules in mid-stride. That is cheating. Yep. Donald Trump trusted these people. He trusted them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say trusted past tense. He's trusting right now. Donald Trump lives in the moment. If the shit goes south like that, like it happened to Ron Paul, who I don't know if you heard this, when Donald Trump was in Mesa, Arizona, he's talking about his competition on the stage. One of the people that he's running against is Rand Paul. They had a heated exchange during the debate. He says, Rand Paul doesn't have a lot of momentum. He doesn't have what the father had. The father, talking about Ron Paul, had a spark. The father had something special.
Yeah, and the father also was someone who has stood by his son during his election better than he's standing by. He ever stood by him when he was running. Rand went to Romney while Ron was still in it. It is Rand that 2 or 3 years ago decided he wanted to talk badly about libertarians and then kind of wished he hadn't. Rand is the one. I always say we loved Ron, but Rand, you've made us like you. Rand has distanced himself from us that loved Ron. It just is.
Yeah, and I watched a video of Ron Paul, like Liberty Channel something on YouTube last night, where he was he was condemning Donald Trump and was being really harsh about Trump.
That's got so many dislikes too. It's got more likes, but it's getting shellacked. I mean, this is a year where people have had it, and I understand why they've had it. And I'm gonna tell a bit of a side story here.
Sure.
I DJ'd last night at a club, and everybody was extremely good to me. Right, extremely well-paying, beneficial good night. Cha-ching indeed. Well placed. However, a lot of the music there was terrible. I'm talking Drake. I'm talking Fetty Wap. I'm talking some of the most untalented, mind-wasting, vomit-inducing music ever made. And when you look at how stupid the culture has become, you ever wonder, D-Lake, if you and I are talking to a whole bunch of people that don't know what any of the words mean? They don't know who any of the people are. I worry about this, dude. Is it just me?
Well, some people need a dictionary.
Do you know what the chorus of the new Coco song is?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Baking soda. I got baking soda. That's where we are as a people, D-Lake. That's the chorus of a song.
Baking soda. Got it. I'll be on the lookout for that one.
Painfully so.
Well, what was the point of that?
My point being, we live in such a dumbed down, stupid nation. We live in such stupid times that when you try to talk about the difference between Rand and Trump, they may know who Trump is, they don't know who Rand is, and don't care what the difference is. It's miserable.
And did you watch any of the GOP debate on Tuesday? And how did you feel that Rand Paul did? I mean, I thought he had a decent night.
Rand did very, very good. Rand gave this election away because he and Cruz came into this with a massive lead, and they lost it. And one of the ways that that Rand lost it was by focusing all of his prime time big numbers on Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood, deep sixth.
That just got fully funded by the omnibus bill.
Yeah, and again, I'm not sticking up for what they did. What I'm saying is, if you want to lose all of your support, let Donald Trump talk about taxes, and you stand there like an idiot and talk about Planned Parenthood. I promise you'll lose the election. I promise. You'll do exactly what Rand did. That's how you give away a massive lead. Right there.
Well, I don't know what else I can do except for basically agree with you, Sam. In today's top headlines, I had Hillary hidden because that was news this week that the DNC is attempting to sort of keep these debates like out of the main limelight. Their shit wasn't on Tuesday on CNN. It's tonight, a Saturday, the Saturday before Christmas. There's a big football game. People are trying to finish their Christmas shopping. They're not at home watching ABC, watching Hillary Clinton and Bernie framed. I think this whole debacle with the data breach is a big frame-up job. I mean, the company that works for the DNC, their firewall just went down, and like I said, the window just went open, and then we put the fresh-smelling pie on the windowsill, and oh, hey, what do you know? All the neighborhood cats came around, and they're all just sitting out the window smelling the pie, and like, who's going to be the first one to maybe claw a little piece right there? Oh, we saved a little bit of this. Oh, now you're the email hacker. Now you're the fucking one. Now you're the bad guy. It gets me pretty heated. Anyways, that's causing a change in strategy for Hidden Hillary tonight. Oh, and also in the links I had O'Malley who? Martin O'Malley. Who's that? The shirtless president. In a shift of strategy hours before the third Democrat
D-Lake, did you see? I don't mean to interrupt you, but did you see Putin has stolen your thunder? There's a picture of him walking in the woods. He isn't now. D-Lake, you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry.
Mm-hmm.
Putin is the first shirtless president. I know. I didn't know
he
either.
is. No,
I thought of you. I'm sorry, D-Lake. Go ahead.
Oh, I mentioned Putin as a shirtless president before O'Malley, but I mean, go search O'Malley images, and like half of them are going to be him at the beach with his shirt off. But he's a good-looking guy. Yeah, I'll give him that.
I thought of you when I saw it.
If he never opened his mouth, he could be president. But in a shift, and Putin endorsed, or well, not endorsed, but he said that Donald Trump was an incredible individual and a very outstanding person, and the absolute leader of the presidential race right now. And he said, whoever the president is, Russia looks forward to, welcomes that individual to talk about improving relations between the United States and Russia, which is something we need, John Kasich. We're not going to punch Russia in the nose, you fucking idiot. Anyways, excuse me. In a shift of strategy, hours before the third Democrat debate, not Democratic, it's Democrat debate, Hillary Clinton's campaign went for Bernie Sanders' jugular, is in the jugular vein, accusing his team of stealing valuable campaign data, misrepresenting what happened, and inflicting damage here that cannot be undone. Oh, it can't be undone? Well, I heard in a late night meeting last night they got their data back. The Sanders team is now able to access their voter data once again because the DNC tried to suspend them. And oh, Sam, I don't know if it's just brilliant timing that it happens the day before the debate, but the offense came after the Sanders camp admitted its staffers reviewed, searched, and saved data from Clinton's voter file made accessible briefly Wednesday because of a data breach. And it represented a complete shift of tone in the Democratic race, where the hits have remained impersonal and focused on the issues. But I read another thing earlier, and they're like, Hillary's just going to focus on the issues and keep talking shit and talk about her plans about ISIS and talk about this and that, and we'll blame everything on climate change, and then I'll meet with Warren Buffett. No, Jesus. I've had enough of this. Anyway, Sam, I guess we're just going to elect Hillary Clinton on the Democrat side, so what do you think?
I think that it is time for Bernie to run third party. It's time for him to grow a set. Remember, and Donald Trump pointed this out, remember when he allowed those Black Lives Matter idiots to take his microphone away?
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump said, I tell you, I promise you. It ain't ever happening to Donald Trump's microphone. I'll let you know that right now. It is time for Bernie.
I'll tell you what.
It is time for Bernie to grow a set and show that he does have a little bit of chutzpah and run third party.
That was so awesome and so amazing when Trump said that. He was like a rapper. I swear. He's like, no one's touching my microphone. I'm Donald Trump. Get out. Can't stump Trump. I mean, he was like, no one is touching my microphone. No one.
I loved it. I noticed to this day when he calls people on stage, they're hesitant to go towards his mic.
There was one lady who called up on stage, yeah, and he was trying to hand her the microphone, and she was like hesitant to take it, and she's like, I would never. It was like a white lady. She's like, I would never try to take your microphone, Donald Trump. He's like, you're damn right. But I mean, we're talking about Trump. How do you think that his campaign is going overall? He had another spike after his ban Muslim policy proposal.
Well, we all know the famous fascist Jimmy Carter did the same thing. You never hear about that. The last time it was done by a Democrat. They really don't have much they can say on that. They can criticize Carter if they want to, but he's still alive. They're not going to do it, especially since he's got cancer.
Yeah, and we're going back and looking up Jimmy Carter's record, other precedents that other presidents have set, because Donald Trump is a master of opening up a can of discussion. He's like, this is something that needs to be talked about. Maybe you don't like my initial proposal, but it's going to get a lot of people thinking, and it's going to get a lot of people talking. And during that GOP debate, I would have to say that it seemed like most of the people on the stage agreed not 100%, but did agree. And also, like, even Cruz was like, I have a very similar plan, but mine is very specific as to who we're not going to take. But relatively, the idea, the concept is the same. And Rand Paul also has a similar proposal, although it's more specific. He doesn't say all Muslims. He says, you know, people from this place, that place, this other place.
And I've been saying forever, too, you've got to remember when people came, they talk about Ellis Island. People forget that you were at Ellis Island for between 30 to 90 days. You did not arrive in America, hop on Ellis Island, get a green card, and you're eating Chinese food in Chinatown by noon.
That's not going to happen.
You were there for a very long time. And, you know, today they would call it an internment camp. There's a difference between an internment camp and a vetting process. A lot of it is in the way that a person is treated. I don't think they need to be housed in a fence, put in tents in freezing snow, and beaten on the hour. My point is, you need to put them somewhere to make sure they're not going to hurt anyone. And I have no problem with that being done. Again, because of the monstrosities of World War II, you can't talk about putting people in a certain area to vet them, because immediately people are in concentration camps and gas chambers.
Yeah.
That happened one time. It wasn't even us.
Yeah. And I mean, they're like, Trump, you're being compared to Hitler. He's like, name me a president in the past like 30 years that hasn't been. You know what I'm saying?
Hitler gets used for everything because nobody knows another point of reference.
Right. A lot of people tune out when you say that, you know?
Yeah, I mention that all the time on the show. Yeah, they always think you mean the exact part of Hitler that you don't mean. People don't realize the other 90% of his government. People don't realize how bad things would have been even if he wasn't psychotic. He could have been a raging Christian. He could have been a wonderful Buddhist. He could have been a very good man.
What if he was Muslim?
You know what you would have had? You would have had Nazi Germany with Jimmy Carter. Imagine, because I say that because Jimmy Carter, I think, was a terrible president, but a wonderful person.
Okay.
What if Hitler had been a wonderful person? He was still a fascist. He was still going to run the country straight into deep six.
Right. So, yeah. So it's his policies, or was his policies. Excuse me. Did you see Sam Michael Moore's protest yesterday? Holding a sign outside of Trump Tower until the police came and told him to get the hell out of there. Holding up a sign that said, "We are all Muslim." We are all Muslims.
It's a public sidewalk. I mean, I hate the fat bastard, but it's a public sidewalk.
He has a First Amendment right to stand there with his sign that says, "We are all Muslim." But do you agree that we are all Muslims, Sam?
No, and I'll tell you something else. If he was such a good Muslim, ISIS would say, "You grow a beard on that shiny white face of yours, or we're going to cut your head off."
And he wrote
standing in public praising Islam without a beard is a crime with ISIS. I know it sounds like I'm being facetious, but I'm not. I'm pretty sure what he did would get him not killed, but it would get him lashes and imprisoned under Sharia law. I guarantee it. You did not invoke anything Muslim without a beard in a public place. I promise you, you don't. So
well,
already.
Hey, I'm D-Lake for Prez. Check out my awesome beard. I would have been okay.
Let's see, D-Lake, you will be fine. You can.
I get messages from ISIS all the time saying we love your beard. We wish ours was that cool.
You've given me a hilarious idea. The best gag gift for Christmas would have been the ISIS beard oil. That would have been hilarious. We missed the boat, dude.
That would have been a good one, yeah.
ISIS beard oil, bringing Christmas joy to you.
Well, you know what, Sam? We'll save it for next year because they'll probably still be in power. Look, I was just watching a video last night. We were talking last year in June. Last year, ISIS came to power in roughly a month to 3 months during that summer, right? They came to power. Now they're unstoppable. Now it's going to take us years and years to defeat them. Why did it take only a summer for them to come to such awesome power, but it's going to take us 10 years to defeat them? That does not make sense. How come Hillary Clinton can print out 30,000 emails onto 55,000 pieces of fucking paper, wiped the server clean. The FBI has had the server for however long. What is taking so long? Prosecute!
The thing is with her doing that is the party has done such a good job of glossing over it that I'd say 80% of the people that will vote for her will not have ever heard of the email scandal. 80%, I guarantee, of the people that vote for her don't even have never heard of it.
Okay. They've never heard of Benghazi. They're like, Ben who?
Yeah, Ben who?
Benoit Balls, you idiot. Well, I guess it's just us that, worries about this sort of stuff, Samuel. Burning.
That often.
Let me just read a little bit of this. After data breach fight, Clinton and Sanders face off at the Democrat debate. The U.S. Democrat frontrunner Hillary Clinton and rival Bernie Sanders square off in a potentially combative debate tonight, one day after their presidential campaigns erupted in a bitter feud over an improper breach of Clinton voter files by a Sanders staffer. So not necessarily his fault, wasn't necessarily something that Sanders did. I really would doubt that he authorized it.
I think.
Go ahead, Sam.
I think the thing is going to be that Hillary's running from Hillary. She reminds me, to use the entertainment analogy, of Marilyn Manson. Those who do not like him, and there's quite a large number, those who do not like him hate him. It's not a matter of, oh, I don't like him. No, I hate him.
Marilyn Manson, in your comparison to Hillary, you're saying?
Yeah, it's not a matter of you are somebody like Cruz. A lot of people really like Cruz. I don't share this Cruz worship. I don't think they're like he's libertarian. He's libertarian on a few things, but I mean, how far can you stretch that rubber band? It stretches, but at some point, no.
But there's more gray. There's more gray area on a like dislike scale. There's more gray.
People don't hate Cruz.
Right.
Huckabee. People don't hate Huckabee, but Christelle did. She doesn't even know why. But people don't generally hate Huckabee. But even if they don't vote for it, they hate Hillary. People that do not like her despise her. And that's polarizing. You can't fix it. It's like, oh, well, I don't like Trump, but I hate Hillary. Trump isn't as polarizing among most Americans off of the West Coast as Hillary is all of America off the West Coast. Mm-hmm. I think she's one of the most widely hated people in the country.
Well, her and Michael Moore are competing for that, right? I mean,
the other thing is Hillary never learns. She got in a pissing match with Obama, and he whooped her ass, and now he's president, and she's not. And now Sanders and her are fighting instead of being smart enough to do it. I'm glad they didn't. What Hillary and Obama should have done. Bit the bullet and ran together. I hate to say it, but I think Hillary Sanders beats Trump anybody. But thankfully, after this display today, that's probably not going to be the case. So that's good.
Oh man, you think if it was Hillary got the nod, she would bring in Sanders as VP? I don't know.
No. If she had a decent campaign manager, that's what she'd do. But no, she's probably not going to.
No, she likes Castro.
Yes, decastration.
Yeah.
I bet you he's not shirtless.
Yeah. I don't want to see that shirtless. Yeah, what about O'Malley? So O'Malley who?
You want to hear something terrible? What if Hillary was the shirtless president?
Oh god. Yeah. You can't let Hillary's neckline go lower than it is in this picture right here, Sam.
I think it would be. I always wondered what happened to that turkey that Obama uh, let loose on. What was it? Pardoned on Thanksgiving.
Pardon.
Now we know, of course, it's running for the Democratic president.
All right. Well, there wasn't any massacres or terrorist activity this past week that I was aware of. Of course, one lady did get caught at the U.S.-Mexico border, I believe in Arizona, drawing sketches of the border wall, including cameras in the sketches and writing notes in English and Arabic. And she might have been part of a larger cell that may have had some sort of a nefarious
I don't believe that, and I'll tell you why. Unless she's an idiot, and God, we need more evil people to be idiots. It's quite helpful when they are. It's common with serial killers. I digress, but half the time serial killers get killed because they'll be like, we went into the house and found the gun. You kept the gun, that kind of thing. Thankfully, they're idiots. If they wanted to do it, all you'd have to do is, for instance, what I did at an amusement park. I wanted to film myself on the ride, and they said I couldn't do it. So what I did is I wore a long sleeve shirt. As you can see, I have these rubbery bracelets. I tucked my cell phone into my bracelets, pulled my shirt down. As we were going up the hill, I rolled my sleeves up and promptly filmed the roller coaster. They couldn't even see it on their camera that I had a camera on my wrist. There was literally no way to find it. Now, if you're sitting here on a Saturday afternoon doing political commentary and you can think of that, you mean to tell me that the best they can come up with is a dolt with a pen? I don't buy it. You would put the cell phone in your hat. You'd cut a little tiny hole in the hat that nobody could see, and you'd just walk by. I'm sorry. It can't be. They can't be that stupid. It just can't be.
All right, Sam. Well, speaking of stupidity, I have an article here, a good story that I wanted to get to before we get to Santa Claus's science news.
I'm looking at the headline, and Christelle, we're not going to run the Dunce Cap of the Month award anymore because D-Lake has just found the stupidest story in all of stupid storydom. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up and let him.
Have you heard about this yet, Sam?
No. I have been outdone. I do not have a dumdy that is this stupid. I'm sorry. I know. I have been outdumdied. I am impressed. D-Lake, go.
Yeah, sure. So this story was breaking yesterday. I wanted to say happy birthday to my big boss at work, Tony. It's his birthday today. We went to lunch yesterday, and I had just seen the headlines, but I brought it up. Yeah, a castaway like Tom Hanks, who survived 14 months lost at sea. Now he's being sued for cannibalism by the family of the guy he was lost at sea with. A fisherman who famously survived 14 months at sea is being sued for $1 million by the family of his crewmate, who accuse him of eating their relative in order to survive. Jose Salvador Alvarenga, 36, is the only man known to have survived for more than a year at sea. In November 2012, he set out from Tapachula, Mexico, for a 2-day fishing trip with 22-year-old Ezequiel Cordoba. When he washed up 438 days later, that's over a year for you people that aren't familiar with math, 14 months later, to the southernmost tip of the Marshall Islands, he was alone. He told officials that fierce winds blew his 25-foot boat off course, killing the engine, knocking out the communication systems, and leaving the pair at the mercy of the waves. The two men survived for months by catching fish and birds with their bare hands and drinking turtle blood, urine, and rainwater. I was so hungry that I was eating my own fingernails, swallowing all the little pieces, Alvarenga told The Guardian. After 2 months at sea, Cordoba entered a mental and physical decline and began to refuse all food. Alvarenga called The recalled to the Guardian how he promised his crewmate that if he survived, he'd find Cordoba's mother in Chiapas, Mexico, and deliver her sons goodbye. After Cordoba's death, Alvarenga said he kept the man's corpse in the boat for nearly a week, talking to it as if he were still alive. That's something that could easily happen. Finally, after the 6th day, he prepared Cordoba's corpse and pushed the young man's body overboard. As I slid him into the water, I fainted, he recalled. After his incredible feat of reaching the Marshall Islands, Alvarenga kept his promise and visited Cordoba's mother, Rosalia Diaz Cueto, to deliver the message from her son. In February, Diaz Cueto told reporters that she did not blame Alvarenga for his death. I want to understand that I am not blaming this person, nor am I declaring him guilty of anything. But then the guy wrote a book. And now, Sam, here comes the Dumdy part. Now, after the mom already declared him of doing nothing wrong, the family is demanding $1 million in compensation from Alvarenga, alleging that their son was a victim of cannibalism.
I got the worst joke ever, but my gut instinct is that the gentleman died of natural causes, and throughout that week, dude chowed on him. But I don't think he should be sued. I mean, what else are you going to do? I have a feeling if you and I are lost at sea and I keel over.
I don't know if he had a way to cook him. Maybe he might have nibbled on the fingernails and the fingertips a little bit, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you could cook it in some way. I mean, they probably had
in the sun?
No, I mean, they probably had some way to make fire in a steel pot in a stove. I mean, something.
No.
I mean, it's not a pleasant thought. I don't think he should be sued. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't. I mean, I don't think he killed him. But I bet you if the guy went nuts and was refusing food after he killed over, I mean, you can only catch so many birds, or who knows?
Well, Alvarenga's lawyer denies the allegation that he ate his crewmate, pointing out that the lawsuit came just days after a book about his client's ordeal was published. So they're like, oh, you're making money off this story? We want some of that money. I quote, I believe that this demand is part of the pressure from the family to divide the proceeds of the royalties, the lawyer told El Salvador's El Diario de Hoy, today's diary. Many believe the book is making my client a rich man, but what he will earn is much less than people think. Alvarenga is also being sued by a former attorney, Benedicto Perlera, who is seeking another $1 million over an alleged breach of contract. So, I mean, this guy just got home from 435 days at sea and is being sued for $2 million? What the fuck?
D-Like, I muted out. I didn't want to keep
what did you
for
say?
Listeners. It cuts over when you don't. D-Like, mind blowing. Literally, only in the world we live in could somebody live over a year at sea and come home and find lawsuits in all directions. Wow. I heard about this guy. I really did.
Here's the guy. Here's a picture of him. He looks like Tom Hanks or Last Man on Earth, just back home. Look
Is that him now?
Yeah, this is him, like right after he got back.
I remember that.
Okay, so he made it back, and now the book is being written, and now the family wants $1 million, and I believe this is the other gentleman that he was with that they say he ate or potentially ate.
Wow.
Oh, they have a picture of this guy eating? Wait. That's
D-Like, I'll tell you what, if we're ever lost at sea and I die, don't chow on me, but you can cut me up and use me as shark bait, because a shark will feed you for a long time, dude. I'm just saying.
Wait, is this the same guy? No.
I wondered if that was him, like the guy.
They keep showing this other guy.
I
don't know. I'd have to do more research, but I'm glad you like that story, Sam.
That is, I mean, you've outdone yourself with that one.
All right. Well, why don't we segue into some science news from Santa?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me go ahead and find myself a Santa. D-Like, go ahead and give me.
Sure, sure. All right. Well, hey, I'm D-Lake for Prez. I hope everyone enjoyed that story that we just covered about the castaway being sued for $1 million accused of cannibalism. I mean, no one was there. There was no security cameras. There was no anything except, the accusations, this guy's word. He's like, no, I pushed him out into the water. Did he nibble on the fingers a little bit? I mean, did he have a way to cook it, like Sam was saying? And what body part would you eat first? Would you go straight for the brain?
Oh,
Here we go.
oh. I would.
Santa Claus!
Sometimes I personally recommend going for the inner thigh. I'm very, 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 very busy. Merry Christmas, D-Lake. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I didn't think about the thigh.
I'm sorry. Are you allowed to say that on air? Are you allowed to say Merry Christmas? I don't. I think it's. Is it still legal?
Santa, I would stick with Happy Holidays in your case, but okay.
Listen to this. One of the most popular items you'll see all year. CNBC. Nice, respectable company. A robot teaching itself to walk like a human toddler. Pretty soon, no one's gonna want Barbies anymore. Will robots soon be able to teach themselves everything? There's a robot in California teaching itself to walk. That's interesting because there's a Democrat in California teaching themselves to cheat on my naughty list. The name of the robot is Darwin, and like a toddler, it teeters back and forth in the UC Berkeley lab, trying and falling, and then trying again before getting it right. But it's not actually Darwin doing this. It's a neural network designed to mimic the human brain. The human brain, much like the one that guy may have eaten, D-Lake. Darwin's baby steps speak to what many researchers believe will be the greatest leap in robotics. I believe it as well. It's a kind of general machine learning that allows robots to adapt to new situations rather than respond to narrow programming. Developed by Peter Abdil and his team of UC Berkeley's Robot Learning Lab, the neural network that allows Darwin to learn is not programmed, but performed any specific functions like walking or climbing stairs. The team is using what's called reinforcement learning to try to make the robots adapt to situations as a child would. A child who's going to want this for Christmas. And do you know how much it's going to cost? Elves are going to be quitting in droves. Like a child's brain, reinforcement technology, it involves the trial and error process. So basically, DARPA is creating robots that can teach themselves to talk. It said we started looking at such restrictive representations because robots do not adapt very well. For typically structured settings, like in factories, robots are programmed to repeat the same function over and over again. And Sergey Levine, another scientist, he's on my good list. The environments might change, but the sophistication of the robot needs to adapt. Now, I've been asked to do this by, of course, Sam, who is well known for his outspokenness on all issues nuclear. It would be interesting to see if they could reinforce this machine enough that it would learn how to do things like clean up Fukushima, as opposed to learning new ways to kill people and new ways to blow people up and new ways to bring sorrow to people. It'll be interesting, I think, to see how this is used, whether or not it's on my good list or my naughty list. Everyone, do yourselves a favor and remember, every time you dislike a Fetty Wap video, an angel gets its wings. I gotta go. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, D-Lake.
Thank you, Santa Claus. That was awesome. And if you're able to see my video here, we're taking a little look at the robot teaching itself to walk like a human toddler that Santa Claus was just talking about. And there he goes. Yeah, he's learning. He's learning how to walk. I saw a report yesterday about self-driving cars getting into all kinds of accidents because they're programming the cars to do everything according to the the law. So they can't exceed the speed limit, even if they're trying to make a fast lane change. They can't. There's all kinds of human conditioning type stuff, like when you come to a four-way stop, when you're trying to speed up to get on the freeway, stuff like that. That these cars aren't programmed to do little traffic infractions. They have to do everything by the letter of the law, to the point that one of the cars was doing like 24 miles per hour in a 35 zone. A cop pulled over a self-driving car. That the first time that happened just recently. But yeah, we got to figure out the self-driving cars. There was another article about how can we develop AI that will not want to kill us. Okay, great. All you scientists are doing a great job. Yeah. Why don't you program it to not kill us and try not to develop Skynet, okay, and advanced Terminator hunter killer systems, please? Could you please try to do it like that? Sam, welcome back. Great report by Santa Claus there, and I was just wrapping up.
How hard he was to get in. He's so busy. It was really hard to get him in. We had Alice.
He still got a few days before his big run before Christmas.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, since I don't think any Hillary fans are getting anything for Christmas, his list is a lot lower this year. Yeah. But yeah, we had Alice Cooper on for Halloween. Go back and look that up. We've been doing good.
His sleigh gets heavy with all that coal, all the coal for the. All the lumps of coal for the Hillary.
Krampus, yes, that's why you're going to see. I think you're going to see a lot of Krampus claws this year. I think he's going to be everywhere.
Oh man. Well, Santa Claus was definitely entertaining. Did you have anything this week in entertainment news, Samuel?
I can say one thing. I forgot to mention this last week. I'm sure a lot of people know it, but I still want to go over it. Did you? We didn't cover that Scott Weiland died.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that. That's true. He did.
The singer of the Stone Temple Pilots. Drugs got him.
Yeah, he had a long storied past with drug addiction.
Well, the interesting part of it though was what his wife said. She said, "Do yourself a favor. Don't go out and buy. Don't make these T-shirts that say 1967 to 2015." Save your money and instead take a fatherless kid to a baseball game or to get an ice cream. He was someone who was never there because of his addictions. And she's like, and I don't want to hear people romanticizing the demons of rock and roll, which, by the way, don't have to be there. In other words, she pretty much said that he was pretty much a self-centered piece of crap. Like he wasn't even there when he wasn't on the road. She didn't seem like she was one of these people that are like, I'm mad that he's on the road, but I married a rock star and I'm gonna bitch about it. She wasn't like that. She was saying that when he wasn't on the road, he was still never there. He was always strung out, drugged out, screwed up somewhere, which is a shame. But I mean, when you listen to Stone Temple, I remember when they came out. At first, everyone wondered if they were just going to be a slightly heavier Pearl Jam. And they ended up changing their sound on almost every CD. Velvet Revolver, I liked them. I hate Linkin Park, but not because of him, because of Chester. Awful voice Chester has, my God. But yeah, Scott Weiland, no longer with us. Somebody who musically brought a lot. He really did. He wasn't somebody I went out and bought every CD or anything. But I remember when I was 19, my roommate bought the on cassette, and we listened to it all the time. I remember when Plush hit. I didn't like Plush nearly as much as Sex Type Thing. I remember thinking, what the hell is wrong with people? But yeah, no more Scott Weiland. R.I.P. I'm sort of the Grim Reaper, the eulogy giver of the Media Speaks. Every time somebody dies, I end up being the one to comment on it. But I did. Sorry, I forgot you last week, Scott. But you have been sent off properly, my friend. Thank you for making great music. You're muted. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to set up real quick for sound action here, Sam. I don't know if you had a chance to see this.
I had to work instead of see Star Wars. So if you tell me anything about it, I'm gonna stab you.
No, hell no. I'm not going to say anything about Star Wars because I haven't seen it yet, but I saw a report yesterday about a guy. I don't know if this is real or not, but he came out of the theater and shouted out a major spoiler point and was proceeded to get beat down by Chewbacca, Boba Fett, and I don't know, a stormtrooper or something.
What?
No,
what?
this is.
Whoa! What?
I don't know if it's a true story, but yesterday I saw a report about a young guy that came out of just seeing Star Wars, and then in the crowded theater of people about to go in to see the movie, like a Homer Simpson, he yells out a major plot spoiler or a major spoiler, and then a bunch of people in the crowd, one guy dressed, Boba Fett, Chewbacca, Stormtrooper, all proceeded to beat the man in the theater and kick him in the balls. And
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Don't spoil.
Good.
So yeah, I haven't seen it, but even if I did, I wouldn't say anything about it.
I make decent money. I don't complain. I'm happy. But when I had to miss Star Wars, I was really mad. And I think this has only happened like 3 times last year. But I made over $300 to miss Star Wars, and I got to meet and hang out with. Here's some entertainment.
Han Solo.
Tia Cyrus. No, don't type. Before you type, put your family filter on. 275 porn movies in 7 years. She's incredibly nice, believe it. She's 5 foot tall. She's 90 pounds, which is exactly everything I've ever thought was pretty. And she is incredibly polite, well-spoken. The only time I've ever seen a touring celebrity
and gives great head.
She's like, if you can't get to my music for any reason, just get me whatever songs are close.
Okay.
Usually that is not the case. I moved heaven and hell to get her music after that. And then when it came time for tip out, I'm not going to say what she did, but she is now. She was not that, but don't I wish? The things Christelle and I would do. The nicest tip I've ever gotten from a touring entertainer, and I've been doing this for about 10 years, was her. Tia Cyrus, Merry Christmas. You are an awesome person, and I hope to do your
All right, sounds good, Sam. All right, now let me get to what I wanted to get to as far as my entertainment news. And it is sort of Christmas related, Sam, because it stars one of our favorite Christmas holiday movie child stars, Macaulay Culkin. Have you seen this yet, Sam?
No, but I saw that you had 13 million hits in a day, so I'm ready.
Is everything okay? No, actually, everything's not okay. Oh. Yeah. Maybe I'm in the wrong car. My app said that Anna was coming. Yeah. This is Anna's car.
Oh, do you recognize that guy, Sam? It's the Home Alone kid, Macaulay Culkin.
And I'm Anna's husband, but my wife.
What's Sam?
Michael Jackson's best friend. All jokes aside, I've always liked Macaulay.
Okay, so listen to what he's saying here. It gets good. I'll skip forward a little bit after we get the meat and potatoes in the beginning.
My fucking wife, whose fucking job this is, decided that she did too much blow last night and she just can't do it. And so she gets her husband, who doesn't even know how to fucking drive, to do her job for her. Not that I don't shit to do on my own. Where do you want to go? Did you say that you don't know how to drive? No, not really. I can just drive us if you want. You do that? Yeah.
Okay, so they're driving, and Macaulay starts retelling the story about when he was home alone and how he still has nightmares about it and stuff.
And I'm really sorry, man. I did not mean to upset you. I had to fend off my house from 2 psychopath home invaders. That's really terrible. I was just a kid. I mean, I still have nightmares about this bald weirdo dude chasing me around, talking like Yosemite Sam. I'm gonna pull your fingernails out. I'm gonna get you, you little scam. They don't even curse. Calling me louse and shit like that. It's wow.
Okay, so that's pretty funny, right? Okay, here we go. I'm skipping forward a little bit. Everyone,
I like it. I'm gonna watch it. I like it.
It's not my car.
Get out of the car.
It's not my
Stay in the car. Pick the wrong car, my friend.
You want your name to fucking die? Get out.
Some Home Alone action there for you, Sam?
D-Like, you're on a roll today. Anybody who has tuned out early on this show, every 5 minutes is something you want to see. If you're not watching, those of you watching, you know, the ones who tuned out have missed out this show.
Okay, it's going to get just a little bit better, but I won't spoil everything.
I wondered if that was going to be the case.
What's happening? Same thing that was going to happen before. It's the other way around. Isn't that right, Mr. Holman Theater?
Hey, man, I think I'm gonna take off.
No, I think you should really stay for this.
Okay. I'm gonna stay. Yeah, I want to.
What the fuck are you going to do to me? Oh,
All right. Just enough to wet your whistle. I'm not going to spoil the ending. Everyone go check that out. It's pretty funny, especially if you were a fan around Christmas time, this time of year of the Home Alone movies. Right, Sam?
Yes, and and of course, don't forget that one. What was Ratatouille, the mouse who was Home Alone? Remember?
Voiced by Patton Oswalt. Ratatouille. I like it.
Nice, D-Like. See what I mean? D-Like is on tonight. I don't even know who Patrick Oswalt is, but I know. Wow.
Oh yeah, just a teaser. Just a teaser. All right. So, how you doing on your Christmas shopping, Sam? Are you getting everything ready for Christmas there?
I am the planning genius. When people do not plan the way I do, things crash. I say things like that, and it makes Christelle mad, but it doesn't matter. It's still right. Well, I worked yesterday.
Wait a
I
second.
am now
you're the party
officially.
relationship.
I'm a really good planner, but when you change what I'm doing, it messes me all up. Now I have to shop tomorrow, and then these things are barely gonna make it by Christmas, but they will. Oh God! But yes, I got all my shopping done almost on Black Friday. Then I needed to gather up some more money, and I was going to do it Friday, but it ended up
You went shopping on Black Friday.
rush. So now I am, even though I planned brilliantly, I am now officially behind. Thank you for reminding me, D-Like. Thank you.
Well, at least you have a plan. Yeah.
Oh, you're how far behind? Are you? It's like a circular track. Imagine a big circular track. D-Like, are you so far behind that you're in front?
Oh man, I need a Santa's little helper with nice perky tits to help me.
When we get off air, I'll shoot you Santa's email. That'll help.
All right, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I feel like I've been good all year long, so I'm hoping for a lot of cool stuff, but I probably will get nothing.
If anybody wants to get me anything, Adobe Premiere CS6.
Adobe Premiere,
great.
50-inch widescreen.
No, just Adobe Premiere. Just give D-Like the TV. I just want Adobe. It's all I want.
Okay, well, that's great, Sam. I think we did a good show. How do you feel about it?
Very good. Very, 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 very good. I'll tell everybody as we jump off, if you want to get a hold of us, you can do so at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com to get a hold of me. YouTube.com/thecorrectviews for the show. And if you're listening to this and you know me, you know where my house is. Make sure you come to our Christmas party. Most of you listening do not. What do you do in that instance? Get a hold of me at The Correct Views quickly because the party starts in 6 hours. Scavenger hunt at 11, and it's legendary. It's legendary.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Well, I'll be there in spirit because it sounds pretty legendary. If you want to get a hold of me, I'm still on Facebook. Just find me there. Facebook.com/sticker junkie. That's me. I mean, that name should be the name of the company, but you know, we did it all early on, and Facebook doesn't let you like change everything, and they're really assholes about it. Sam should know, but
it's painfully so.
Yeah, But look for us on YouTube at themediaspeaks.com. Check out David Lake on YouTube. Just look for that Captain America shield. Today I have the lizard, my little kitty, not the Captain America shield over here as my logo over here somewhere in this area in my lower third. But be sure to check us out. If your name is Kyle Phillips, why don't you get your ass on the fucking show, man? We miss you. Love you, man. If your name is not Kyle Phillips and you want to be a part of the show, get in touch with us. Any number of those ways that we just talked about, you can be on the show next week. If you got something smart, intelligent to say, if you keep up with the news like we do, you want to be part of the conversation, we welcome you. Welcome. Unless you're a Muslim immigrant from Syria, in which case, I'm sorry, you're banned.
I'd like to say, in which case, we'd like to say Merry Christmas and pour juice on your chin.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.